I don't necessarily think you can dive into, some groundbreaking deep work while you're traveling, because the nature of focus and being dialed in is having a curated environment that everything, like blacked out curtains, you got your supplements ready, you slept 8 hours, the first 4 hours of the day, you just dive in. I mean, if you're traveling around, you're meeting new places, like finding your food from different places, your work environment in your office isn't really as optimized. But if the intention is to be creative and a bit more relaxed, you can get some groundbreaking ideas that you can then re-implement in your business. And I think you mentioned, previously before Andre and I came to Honors right now, he mentioned, Sam Ovens. In fact, you can talk about the story of him on vacation.
So like, for 2 years, he didn't take a single day off. And you probably relate to this as well, just like grinding it out, right?
More.
Yeah, just like doing the most. But when he took like a 14-day vacation and he didn't, well, like we are on vacation right now and that was the intention. Like we literally said we're not going to work and now we are basically working. So yeah, but it's a nice location. So we're going to obviously use that. But he took a 14-day vacation and he said it's like literally groundbreaking. He said no to clients. He declined money, and he
left his phone and laptop at home.
That's important. Like he left his laptop and phone at home. So like he didn't even bring that with. He just like went out fishing, like not a Sam Ovens thing to do, but like back in the day, he was like extremely disciplined, and now he literally schedules that in his like sprints. Like he does a 3-month sprint and then like a 10-day vacation. You just get your mind can then process the things you've actually done in those 3 months. But when you're constantly just down, you can't really think of new things. Like that's why 100%. The switch up of environment is so good. And now he just like schedules it in every single quarter essentially.
Yeah. And I also think a big thing that I've learned this year, especially when it comes to traveling, still keeping to that point, is when you start placing yourself in these ideal situations that you've always dreamt of, traveling to Dubai, or getting the Porsche or the Ferrari, staying on the Palms, that was sort of a dream of mine for some time, meeting up with some high-level individuals. You get there, you experience that, and then you realize, it ain't all that. It's not. It's cool and it's nice, but it's not all that. And I think and there's people that work their entire life to get into a SF90 or a Rolls Royce or something like that. And when they get in it, then they realize like, oh my word, did I enslave my entire life away to get this? And, I think a lot of people tend to, be like, fuck, like what did I do? And now me being able to experience that firsthand, I can now reverse engineer sort of my life now. And I can be like, okay, this might not be my end all be all anymore. Maybe I can find, and then you start tapping into the real stuff. Because I think it's so important to have a why behind why you do it. And I think if it's very monetary or very possession orientated, you're gonna be disappointed when you get it, and achieve those stuff. And it's difficult to believe that if you're in a place of lack and you don't have those things. And I still think it's a good idea to have those goals. But I promise you, as soon as you get it, the actual value is in the person that you morphed into to become and to have those things, To
get those things.
Yeah, I think that is very, very true.
I just listened to a podcast from Tim Ferriss and Chris Williamson, and he said, Chris Williamson asked Tim Ferriss, like, what was the thing you thought would bring you the most happiness when you were younger but didn't? Ooh. And he said the number one thing was money. And he says, like, still get the freedom, do all of that, 100%. Like, this shouldn't be a cope for you to say, oh, no, I'm just not going to make money. We can definitely touch on that also, like, transcending the game. But, like, first get the stuff, and then you can realize, come to that conclusion on yourself. Because, you can hear these things, everybody says it, like, Tim Ferriss, like, money is, it didn't really, be up to standard to what he thought it will be. But you first need to actually acquire it, and then you can say, okay, it's not all that.
But it's so easy to say that if you're ignorant to the things that come from a lack of money because you have money, It's like you don't really know how your life would have been without money. And so, I mean, I can 100% say my life has only become better with more money. Like, I don't think it's a bad idea to try and, pursue more money in abundance, but I think it's how you use that money. And I also think the way you get that money is more valuable than the money itself. If you look long term, Making more than a certain amount, after a while, I don't think it's very valuable to have the main goal to be, oh, let's make more money. I think there's a lot of value in doing something every single day that you really enjoy. And that is something that is difficult to sort of, how should I say, like process, because there was a time that I really didn't like anything I was busy working on. But now currently building, this community, doing that, working on myself, my own brand, like that is the most purposeful thing I've ever done, because I also see the value it gives to other people. And that in and of itself is more value to build to me than, money, to be honest. Yeah. Because I wake up and I'm like, fuck yeah, like let's get in, like let's do it. And that's what it's about, cultivating a life that you actually want to live.
Yeah, like Henry Ford said, like money is a result of service. So, just the more service you provide, the more people you help. And also someone else said, business is just an idea that makes someone else's life better. And obviously you need to learn the sales and the marketing, like that's very, very important. But that's like the first step really. And then from there, the whole passion thing, you're not going to enjoy it every single day. Like it's definitely going to be hard work, but it's like, how do you say this? It's unconditional love for your business. It's like your baby, literally. That's a good way to explain it. Like some mornings your baby is going to cry and it's going to cause a headache, but like deep down you still love this thing. Yeah. And you love building this thing. Well, not the baby, but like, like growing up with a baby and everything like that. That's what it's all about. You're not going to enjoy like the day-to-day every single day. Majority of the days you're not, because it's a lot of hard work and cognitive effort, but you still have like this unconditional passion for this business. That's what it's about.
While we're on that topic, or that part of the topic, something that really helped me a lot was, if you work for somebody else, you are essentially investing part of your time into their little container. Let's sort of see the business model, whatever, or vehicle as a container. You are investing your time into this guy's container, whatever that may be. Let's say you're an engineer or photographer. Like let's say for myself, I was working real estate. I was investing in his dream. What I'm currently doing right now, obviously I changed business models. Now I'm building a community. Now I've got my own little job. Well, since we got a job together, I guess. But now all my time is going into a job that I curated and that I deem as purposeful. And now, after 6 to 8 months, working on something, you can look back and be like, damn, all that 6 months, whatever, of time is in this thing, and it's 100%, it's how should I say, it's like exponential growth, but it's like benefiting me now. Because let's say if you really worked hard for your boss, you're just making him more money, and you're investing in a job, and you don't really find that purposeful. Like you don't, it was not your thing. I think having your own thing and building that, at least for myself, and I'm obviously guessing if you guys are watching this video, you guys are in the same boat, is so valuable. Having your own thing to build. It's
like
amazing.
I always loved building stuff. Like when I was younger, like Legos,
like Lego,
just
Minecraft.
like building stuff. And a lot of entrepreneurs relate to this as well. They're just like building and creating. I loved, I like painted a lot as well. Very creative. Built. I even did like Lego movies.
No.
Yeah, like Lego Man, and I was just like, I take a photo and then change it up a bit, take another photo.
No way.
Yeah, it's like that motion picture stuff. So like creating that.
Yeah.
And it's a whole thing of how Steve Jobs, like he did the typography class or...
Oh yeah, with the fonts.
Yes, but like he thought, what is this bullshit? Like how is this going to help me? And now that literally made
everything.
Apple's fonts. Like that was the thing that made Apple's fonts. So he also said like, it only makes sense looking back when you can connect the dots.
You can only connect the dots looking back.
Exactly. Like what you're going through right now, you're like, yo, this is shit. But like when you're going through challenges, it's shit in the moment, but when you look back, like that's the time you almost felt your most prideful. Or like not prideful, but the most proud of yourself. Like when you went through that, when you look back, like that was the good old days, And when you go through the challenges right now, that just realize that is the good old days in 2 years.
I'm a full believer in the concept of just completely getting lost in your current situation and just doing the best with what you have right now. And then every month sort of revisiting your trajectory. Because all you can really do is play the best hand that with the cards that you've been dealt, you know. And a lot of people, I think, tend to be like, you know, it's like, oh, I don't have this, my family is that, whatever. And I think a very important lesson that I've learned in 2024 is it's not a lack of resources that's withholding you back from success, your goals, whatever. It's a lack of resourcefulness, you know, withholding yourself from tapping into what you already have. And that might, you know, come in the form of limiting beliefs, paradigms, beliefs that you have sort of
it's
start
three things.
believe.
So three things. It's the character traits, skills, and beliefs. It's those three
Wait,
things.
repeat that quickly.
Yeah, so character traits, skills, and beliefs.
Yeah, that's
so those.
100%.
It's like a ladder you are climbing. And if you can't get to the next level, it's one of those three things that are holding you back.
Yeah.
And skills is the easiest one to learn because you know you can become proficient at any skill in like 20 hours. So let's just say 2 hour days. 10 hour days of 2 hour, 2 10-hour days. And you can become like proficient in ads, social media marketing, like anything. And then it's the traits. So that's like also pretty, well, like discipline, consistency, that type of thing. And then it's the beliefs. So that's like the one most people struggle with the most. They feel like they don't deserve it, all of that. And where did I find this? It's like faith has 3 stools, and you need these 3 to essentially, you know, get what you want out of life. So yeah, it is. So number 1 is I can do it. So like your capability. So that's essentially skills. And then I deserve it. So that's like beliefs. And then I will get it. Which one is that?
That's sort of like pride, ego.
But what it says here is like universe is working for me. Like I will get it. And a lot of people, right? Like, you know, I would say it's more like the rappers. Like they have just like this insane level of confidence. Like I watched a rapper YouTube video just to see like they are just so confident, and they have these two. They have the I deserve it. This like I'm gonna be rich like no matter what. Like and I will get it. It's like inevitable. And I think they focus on the skills maybe last. Like, you know, Kanye West, he was like, I deserve it and I will get it, before he even had any skills whatsoever. And that's a big trait of entrepreneurs, is like 100% they all believe they would achieve it before they did.